Icon Audio Arts.
Calypso to Collapso. The Resurrection of Vivian Stanshall.
Written by Geoffrey Giuliano.
Stephen Galbraith. Avalon Giuliano.
Narrated by Geoffrey Giuliano.
Calypso to Collapso. The Resurrection of Vivian Stanshall. By Geoffrey Giuliano. Stephen Galbraith. Avalon Giuliano. A miracle has occurred. One I never thought I'd see, but one my daughter was desperate for. Rupert, Silky, and I are becoming a family again. We would do nothing to damage this healing. A long time ago we were angry and hurt, and now we fear to find that hurt in your book. I do not doubt that you love Vivian. Kai Longfellow Stanshall, 2009. Personally, I don't think I am bizarre. It would be silly to say I don't notice that I'm different from other people, but my difference is a result of me being ruthlessly myself. I don't from day to day strive for effect, but I am not unconscious of the effect which I cause. Perhaps it would be more comfortable if I normaled up. Then I wouldn't get touched and gawked at, and that would alleviate things, but I would be losing points personally, you see? Vivian Stanshall. He was like a medieval storyteller-musician. You know, the 14th century fools who'd breeze into your life with a lute. Rodney Slater. Vivian was a one-off. He found the route which brought together elements of the intellectual with rock and roll and comedy and poetry. He was incredibly well-read. And it was just a unique combination. He couldn't possibly create a niche or an art form because no one else was clever enough to do it. Steve Winwood. Vivian was one of the most talented, bizarre, absurd, unfathomable, and magnificent Englishmen ever to have drawn breath. Stephen Fry. Dedicated to my son, Eden Garrett Giuliano. So happy you're here, Egg. Geoffrey Giuliano, Pattaya, Thailand, 2009. Contents. Author's Note. Serpent of the Perfumed Parlor, Stephen Galbraith. Bad Blood, Geoffrey Giuliano. Chapter 1. The Odd Boy. Viv Begins, 1943-1960. Chapter 2. Fate Plays the Straight Man, Early Years, 1961-1965. Chapter 3. Dada for Now, Bonzo Barks, 1966-1967. Chapter 4. Howling Like a Hypocrite at the Auto de Fe, Bonzos in Motion, 1968. Chapter 5. Busted, The Cracks Are Showing, 1969-1970. Chapter 6. The Strain, Bedtime for Bonzo, 1971-1973. Chapter 7. The Mr. Hyde in Me, The Decline, 1974-1976. Chapter 8. Wolves Mate for Life, Vivian and Kai, 1977-1978. Chapter 9. Sir Henry at Rawlinson's End, Masterwork, 1979. Chapter 10. King Cripple, The Fall, 1980-1983. Chapter 11. Stinkfoot Cometh, Last Words, 1984-1987. Chapter 12. Bouts of Sobriety, The End of the Beginning, 1988-1994. Chapter 13. Calypso to Collapso, Our Friend Ends, 1995. Serpent of the Perfumed Parlor, Author's Note. Stephen Galbraith. Geoffrey and I first began work on our biography of Vivian Stanshall in 1997. Geoffrey had actually begun the project in the early 1980s as a book on the Bonzo Dog Band. I am...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?